Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining me this evening. As you step in, make sure to hit that like button. It is that time of year again, and even though the my picks have not been great this particular season as far as the playoffs, normally I do much better. I know I'm gonna do better in the championship weeks. I normally am undefeated during championship week and Super Bowl weekend. So make sure you hit that like button on the way in. And I start with the NFL picks, and I'll probably talk about the Steelers' search for a head coach. They interviewed Anthony Weaver a second time. That satisfies the Rudy rule, and I'll speak on that a little bit later. But let me first start with the AFC Championship game, where the Denver Broncos travel to New England to take on the Patriots. This is going to be one heck of a football game here. Now, unfortunately, Bo Nix got hurt at the end of last week's game to come back against Buffalo. He got hurt on a play, and it'll be interesting to see what happens next season. But Jared Stidham is the backup quarterback for the Broncos, and he will start the championship game against the preemptive favorite in the AFC to win the MVP, and that's Drake May. Now, in the clubhouse right now, Matthew Stafford is winning, and Drake May would be a close second. Now, those results have already been tallied up, but we will find out more than likely right before Super Bowl weekend. If I were a betting man, I'd bet on Matthew Stafford. He had been the best quarterback all season, even though Drake May has finished up stronger, in my opinion. And for that matter, so have the New England Patriots. This is going to be such an interesting game. If Bo Nix were playing, I probably would have given the nod to Denver. Because he's not playing. Hey, Mr. Carruthers, how are you? This is going to be I love the Patriots, and that was one of the few picks I actually got. Because I knew the weather in New England would hit different. So I was actually right about that part. And to be honest, I was disappointed in the play of CJ Stroud and the Houston Texans. I expected a lot better football out of that team, and that's not what I got. What I got out of CJ Stroud was a lot of excuse and poor play. I did not expect that out of Stroud last week. He looked like a guy who was unprepared. He looked like a guy who, quite frankly, shrank in the spotlight. And that's not what CJ Stroud was all about. But that's the way he played last week. And he actually played very poorly of the first half against the Pittsburgh Steelers, if you remember. But Stroud played better in the second half. He did not play better against the New England Patriots. He was dreadful. And the sad part is I'm a CJ Stroud fan. But he lost a lot of points with me last week. Just one moment. Oh my goodness. Please bear with me just a moment, please. And one thing about Jared Stidham, the last time he played very well. But this is a different animal. This New England defense is legit. You saw what they did to no win Justin. And that's going to be his name, by the way, until he wins a playoff game. He will be known as no win Justin Herbert until he actually wins a playoff game. I am missing. Please bear with me. Go Texans. The Texans are done. The Texans are long done. Hey, the cynical one, how are you? Yeah, I'm very disappointed with the Houston Texans to waste what that defense did all season long. Very disappointed. Extremely disappointed in CJ Stroud. Now, I know that Nico Collins was hurt. I understand that. And that's a huge loss. But it does not change the fact that they really underachieved on the offensive side of the ball. Their running game was actually non-existent. And that's a big calling card for that team. The rookie Woody Marks actually had a good season. Just a moment. Of course, I didn't like the Texans beat us. I didn't like anything about that game. As far as I'm concerned, they quit. Aaron Rodgers quit on the team. DK Metcalf looked like he started out good, and then that drop. And that was the basis of the entire game. I mean, once that happened, I could have turned my set off bet. But I digress. Oh, those Cali boys said I made a bet with my math teacher that the Broncos would lose, and I could brag to her on how bad the Broncos are. But if the Patriots lose the AFC Championship game, I have to do a week of homework. That's interesting. That's very interesting, young man. Boy, almost won a. No, I don't. I'm not a Denver Broncos fan. Listen. You could easily have to do some homework, young man. You could easily have to do some homework. I am missing. Please bear with me once again. One of my devices is missing. And as soon as I said that, I just found it. Thank goodness. I apologize there. That took a lot longer than I expected. Obviously, Jarrett Stidham is going to be the key for Denver. And again, he's not a terrible quarterback. He really isn't. But nobody expected him to be placed in this predicament. And what does that say about Josh Allen? You know what? Josh Allen has escaped a lot of criticism because he did let his team down last week. 5 turnovers is unacceptable. If that was Lamar Jackson, we'd be killing Josh. I mean, they'd have been killing Lamar Jackson if he pulled that stunt. But since it's Josh Allen, well, it was courageous, but he made it. I mean, no, he was terrible. He was terrible. No, I'm not getting old. Not at all. Now, the one saving grace is they are in Denver. And could the altitude play a major part in this game? Not really. I think that New England is well coached. I like listen, Sean Payton has done a very good job this season, but Denver's been the cardiac kids. Do they play better at home? Yes. Oh my goodness. Again, if Bo Nix were playing, might have went with them. I can't go against Drake May right now. I just can't. And the Broncos have had a wonderful season. I have to go New England 27, Denver Broncos 20. I just have to do it. Like I said, Denver's had a wonderful season, but it's time for them to take a seat. I think Stidham actually is going to play well, but it's going to be for naught. Next up, the LA Rams are going to go up against the Seattle Seahawks. Seattle was dominant last week against Brock. I tell you, they beat Brock Purdy up and down that field. That Seattle's 12th man is no joke. That defense made me a believer. Sam Darnold played well. No. Oh, Mr. Carruthers, you've been killing me all season long. You've been killing me, man. Oh my goodness. Matthew Stafford will more than likely win the MVP. This was the one team Seattle did not want to face. I think if they had played any other team, I didn't realize how good the Seattle. I knew they were good, but they beat up Brock Purdy. I mean, they beat him up. And I'm sort of glad too. I can't stand Brock Purdy, but I thought that the 49ers might have found a way, but they didn't. Oh boy. I think the Rams are the better team from top to bottom. I know Seattle had the better season. And listen, Seattle was lucky to win that football game. And I think it's going to be a closer game than people think. But I think the Rams are the better team. I know Seattle's at home. And Sam Darnold played a lot better than I expected him to play. I have to go with my pick here. I picked the Rams to win the whole thing, and I'm going to stick with them. I'm going to go Rams here, 31-24 over the Seattle Seahawks. So, yes, I have both road teams winning in their respective championship games. Those are my picks for the AFC and NFC championship games. But before I go, I said I was going to talk about the Steelers in their search for a head coach. No ESPN contract. Now, they don't. Listen, I could have went undefeated, and I wasn't going to get an ESPN contract, let me tell you. Now, the Steelers have completed all of their interviews. Now, there are 3 guys now that the Steelers are looking at that are favored. And here's the thing that I really was disappointed in. The Steelers interviewed the University of Miami head coach, Mario Cristobal. I don't want him. I don't want no darn college coach. I said that in the beginning. If you're going to try and convince me that Carbajal is going to be the coach, if that's the case, that means that the Steelers are in full rebuild mode. So you wouldn't let Mike Tomlin rebuild, but you're going to let this college coach rebuild. Yeah, right. That better not happen. Hey, Michelle's daughter, how are you? Happy Friday. See, you got your coach in place. And I think the Giants will improve marketably. I don't see any playoffs, not the first year, but I do believe that's a good step in the right direction. You guys have a young nucleus in place. I think the Giants will be 8-9. I do. I'm serious. 8-9 for the Giants is pretty good. Maybe don't start. You don't want a repeat of this season. This season was dreadful. Shoot, couple of bounces in the football here and there. The Giants could have had #1 pick. That's how bad y'all were. But I don't trust that GM. He's going to find a way to screw this up. I'm telling you. I don't understand why he didn't get fired. It made more sense for him to get fired than Daboll. Daboll didn't give the money to Daniel Jones instead of Saquon. But I digress. The leaders right now for the Steelers coaching job are, and this scares me, Mike McCarthy. I told you, if you didn't see the video, watch it. I don't want Mike McCarthy. I don't even want him scrubbing the bathroom's toilet for the Pittsburgh Steelers, let alone be the head coach. From what I hear, Shieldhouse, the offensive coordinator for the LA Rams, that makes sense. Or the defensive coordinator of the Rams, Chris Shula. And that makes sense. Anybody but Mike McCarthy and that college coach, Cristobal. And see, Mike McCarthy makes no sense for the Steelers. He's 62. The Steelers would rather have a 30-something-year-old guy where he can grow with the team. What's Tomlin going to do? He'll get another job, but I think I'm going to be honest, I think Mike Tomlin is done with coaching in the NFL. I think Mike Tomlin is going to be on TV. I could see him going on ESPN or going on Amazon Prime with Al Michaels. I tell you what, I'd rather listen to Mike Tomlin than that dopey Chris Collinsworth. Kirk Herbstreit is the guy. Kirk Herbstreit is terrible. Kirk Herbstreit should stick to college. He's barely good at that. I would love to hear Al Michaels and Mike Tomlin do the Amazon Prime football games. Would love that. I don't see him coaching anymore in the. I think he's going to go just like. I liked him too, but it was time for him to go. Especially the way the team quit on him. And I was disappointed the last, I don't want to say 5 years, because they gave Mike Tomlin nothing to work with, really, at the quarterback position. And that includes Big Ben at his last 3 seasons were hard to watch. But they sort of hamstrung him. But man, Aaron Rodgers, that was bad. And as good as Aaron Rodgers played at the end of the season, for him to play so dreadful, did you watch that game? Why you think they quit on him? They did quit on him. The effort was piss poor. Did you see the way they quit on this man? After a while, it becomes white noise. After a while, there needs to be a new change. Listen, we moved on from Chuck fucking Noll, okay? Chuck Noll won 4 Super Bowls, and it was time for him to go at the end. Now, they didn't do Chuck Noll any favors either. He had Neil O'Donnell and Bubby Brister at quarterback. How bad is that? But, again, after a while, I think, after the 10, maybe 15-year mark, it's always time for those guys to go. I think you get a good solid 10 years out of a coach. And then you have to move on and look for the next one. Now, the Steelers try to hold on to their coaches because they like to have a certain type of culture and a certain type of environment. And for the most part, it works well. And listen, Tomlin got the most out of his players. I do believe that. But he didn't have a championship caliber roster. And to be honest, the defense betrayed him. We knew the offense was going to be terrible because Arthur Smith is a terrible offensive coordinator. The fact that anybody decides to give Arthur Smith another job in the NFL is an absolute joke. And I'm glad he's not coming back. And that's why, in a way, I'm glad that Tomlin stepped down, because I couldn't see those winners back. You can't tell me Terrell Austin deserves another job. He doesn't. Please not Mark McCarthy. Please not the Miami head coach. Now, the only caveat to that is, if we do hire the Miami head coach, then I do believe that we should just scrap the whole thing, rebuild. I think that we should trade TJ Watt, get some draft capital. We just need to blow the whole thing up and start from scratch. So a part of me is thinking, you know what? Let's go for the University of Miami head coach. But I don't think he's leaving Miami. I think he had such a good year at the U, and he's got top flight recruits, and he's got a bunch of people through NIL. I think Miami's poised to win it all next year. And he'll be looked at again by an NFL franchise. But it should not be the Steelers. And those are my thoughts, and those are my picks for the championship weekend, 2026. I'd like to thank Michelle's daughter, Mr. Carruthers, the cynical one, and Stetson Sandoval, and those Cali boys. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe, all those in the clouds, all those in the bushes. UncleClaude signing out. Take care. Stay safe. God bless, and stay warm, because it's going to be a huge snowstorm, especially here in the New York City area. If you don't have to go anywhere, don't. In fact, if you want to ask me what the forecast is, damn it, it's brick. Take care, everybody.